loved it. Yeah. Now we got another special guest. You ready? Drum roll. We got Amber Fortune in the building. I love when pretty girls come around.
You got me blushing.
I'm so excited that you're here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. First of all, listen. Don't be acting shy because you filled in for me last week.
I did.
Don't get up here acting shy.
Interview with you though.
Listen, you better get in this mic so they can hear their voice.
Testing, can you hear me?
Yes, they can.
All right, cool.
Listen, I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you, bro.
This is like our first time meeting.
It is.
But it's not going to be our last time.
No, it's not.
Perfect. Okay, love that. All right, so Amber, we got so many things to talk about. And I know, listen, we know that you're here. We're not going to leave you out.
I already excluded myself from this joint. I seen the girls and the sister soldiers going on, and I was all swinging. I already see the estrogen all in the air. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm chilling. I'm on my Instagram.
Listen, y'all, you know what? Listen,
follow me on Instagram, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, everyone. Listen, for folks that's not in the studio, can I see this? N.I is over there showing off. And everybody that's not here, he knows we're a partner in crime, so he knows that he's a part of this conversation.
Yes, what did you do with?
Girl power.
All right, well, since he wants us to talk, we're going to just chit-chat.
Okay.
All right, so Amber, let's talk about it. Let's get into something.
All right, let's do that.
I know that you're a manager.
Yes.
So listen, you guys.
Talent agent.
Amber, she had to take a call. She was like, I'll be right back. She had to go handle some of her business. I know that. All right, so tell us about the artists that you work with currently.
So I have a group of 3 models and 3 artists. They're based out of Seattle, Washington, San Antonio, Texas, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, PA, and then we have about 9 more pending. So we'll get to them. That was just based off of New York Fashion Week. So we'll get to them in a couple of weeks. But right now I'm working on my main 6 rotations.
I love it. So let's talk about it. So I'm also a music manager.
Nice.
Yes, I manage Revacity. Yes. So now we're gonna have a good conversation. It's more like girl talk for real. This is my new sister. This is my new sister. Yes. So what made you get into managing?
Okay, so this time around, actually. So I've been in music for over 10 years.
Okay.
I used to be a music manager previously, but because I'm also a talent myself, I took a hiatus just to figure out what road and direction things were going in. Because, you know, when you're a talent, but you also are responsible for other talents, you never want to cross hairs or blur lines.
Yeah.
So what prompted me to actually get into music management, because I used to be a singer.
Okay.
I used to perform with this all-girls group called From All Angles. I've been down the East Coast from when I was a teenager, and all the nightclubs getting tour and shit, but we performing and getting paid. So
Right.
That's what sparked it. And then I was also a label president.
Okay.
So once I moved out, transitioned out of that role, I figured, take that expertise and apply it to talent.
Right.
So I didn't even want to be a talent manager this time around. I was like, no, I will consult for you guys, refer you to somebody who do it, but I don't want to do it. But the demand became too great. So yeah, now I'm back.
Now you back. And I know they love it.
Yes. It's always family camaraderie and everything.
Yes.
And I'm a big person about communication and layman's terms. So I just try to make things simple for everybody, and just all you gotta do is just execute.
I think being a woman in this business, I feel like sometimes we have to go twice as hard as the guys.
True.
Because being a woman, when they see us, they don't see
no, they
usually see a pretty face. Yep, they see the titties, they see the pretty face, and they see your age.
Right.
So what happens is, and you tell me if this ever happened to you. I walked into meetings before with men that were of course they have about 20 years experience. So I mean, they're older guys, and they not listening to anything that I'm saying because they what does she know? Not only is she a woman, she a black woman, she young.
Right.
So how do you deal with
For
that?
me, it's my personality, honestly. Some people might say, "Oh, you're aggressive." No, I'm not I'm not aggressive. I'm assertive. So I know when to interject in the conversation and then lay a couple of gems there. And usually, when dealing with a male-dominated industry and everything, it's basically how you present your presence. Because sharks smell blood. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel if they sense that you're a little weak or anything, they on you like white on rice. But when you just come with your guns and stick with what you know, you either have no choice but to respect it or get out the way.
I agree.
I'm not going nowhere. So what are we doing here?
I think it's also in most situations. I'm a person that I speak when I need to speak, and I'm a person that I'm a listener. So I listen to everything that you say because everything I need to know about you, I'm going to get from what you say.
Exactly.
So sometimes people can read that as wrong, and then sometimes people can read
observing.
Yeah, you know. But I feel like us as women, when we act a certain way, we're labeled. We're put that B word on top of us.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I've been plenty of bitches this year. It's okay. It's okay.
You know, and listen, I always say people describe yourself. It depends who you're talking to.
Right.
It depends who you're speaking to. If it's about my money. We're going to talk differently. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right, but no, I'm usually like anybody who know, like especially in the tri-state area, I'm the same always. So the person that you got sitting in front of you right now is the same person that you're going to get in the boardroom,
right?
Or the same person that's going to get behind the stage, pumping the artist up for their set or for their fashion show or whatever the case may be.
Right. Mm-hmm. So for people out there who don't know about like being an artist manager, they just hear this term and they just they start to think, oh, it's probably like this. Can you tell them like what does a day of a music manager looks like?
It's basically walking a fine rope of like not coddling them, but also making sure that they cross off their to-do list and then a follow-up needed to make sure things were done correctly. Because I need artists to understand that you're basically a face or you're a representative. So your job is just to go there, show up, and do the work. But all the behind-the-scenes stuff like that usually falls on us. So it's our job to make sure that we can carry our artists, because if we carry our artists, we carry ourselves too. Right. And if you're in a game like this, you want to base it off of longevity.
I agree.
Yeah.
So what do you say to like the young women out here who say, hey, I want to get into this industry, but I'm not sure how to go about it?
Brains over beauty, brains over body. Yeah. Because you will get tried all day, every day, every single day. But you have to stick to your guns. And if they call you a bitch, take that as a compliment, because you're going to get your flowers and your respect due from it. But also, it's not for the weak. So you have to be willing to be diligent, willing to stay up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and get back up at 7 o'clock in the morning and then run again for 2-3 weeks straight. Studios all night long, kicking groupies out the studio room, stuff like that.
Hey, and I didn't like that.
I'm sorry, I'm like, she's distracting you a little bit, but she gotta go. She'll be in the green room for you when you done take this little 15-minute break. Do what y'all gotta do. Come back. Don't make no squeaky noises. You know what I'm saying? If that's what y'all gotta do. But
I love don't make no squeaky noises. We know what that means.
But yeah, so it's just like basically, it's basically about strength, honestly, strength and focus. As long as you have that focus and you know you're strong, apply how you do your work day or your work life or whatever, if this is not the only thing that you do, and apply it to your business or to your management or to your agency.
I agree.
Yeah. Shout out to Figgy. We just listened to you. Oh my God. I need my autograph.
Listen, as a manager, I believe you should also be a fan of your artist.
True. Like, if I can't believe in what you got going on, it's going to be hard for me to... if I can't believe what you got going on, it's going to be hard for me to present that to anyone else.
I agree.
So it's like, it has to be a passion there, and then it also has to make sense.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So when Scotland knew artists, we were talking about this off camera. Shout out to people who caught that because they are watching the live, so they get to see everything behind the scenes.
That's the benefit of watching the live. Tune in.
Tell them again, because we get lit in here. We drop some jewels in here. Some things that never make it to air in here, right? That's what happens. So you got to tune in.
Shout out to y'all. Tune in every Tuesday.
So if you were here listening to us on live, you would have heard me and Amber talking about how, like, just basically being a manager and all the things that you go through. Mm-hmm. So we were talking about, like, Scotland artists, and we also wanted to get more into, like, just the things that a manager does. Mm. So, listen, I'm going to be really honest. I just tongue twisted myself. I got all caught up and stuff. I'm getting all caught up because, listen, it's not many times I get to sit down and talk to another female manager. So, y'all, I'm a little like, I love this. Like, I'm in heaven right now. I can't believe that. And now he want me to be quiet. And now let me have my fun, please.
Listen. Do your thing.
Okay, cool. But it's not many times I get to talk. I feel like right now, I don't have any friends in the music industry. I'll tell you that. I have associates.
In the industry.
That actually makes a lot of sense. I cut off all my friends that are in the industry. Why? Because you don't know if they're there for you, being like genuine 100 supporting, and we're going to do this as a community, or if they there to see what they can get.
Yeah.
Speaking of friends in the industry, Drake made a song like that. That's one of
him and Jay-Z, right?
Oh yeah,
that's one of the songs off the Drake joint.
I love that song.
That's another point for Drake.
Another point for Drake. One away for Kanye. Just saying. Dom not here. We can talk about it. Right. But definitely, I feel like it's hard to have friends in this business because you don't know who's your friend. You don't know who's using you. You don't know who's just waiting for the next opportunity or anything.
Or you don't know who's going behind your back trying to steal all your contacts instead that they got it from the bud.
So most of my friends are friends that I grew up with. So most of my friends, they're just working women. They just have normal jobs. They have no desire to be in the industry. They don't. They have no desire.
It's hectic. I'm like, unless you're like one of those people that doesn't mind building up the fortitude and have the energy for all day, all night, living your day life, then the light life too, then it's like, it's not for many people.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And then everybody, like, everybody that wants to be a star definitely doesn't turn into a star. So you have to be, like, realistic with yourself and your goals.
That's where it come in at when we were just talking about how do you scout an artist? Like, when you walk into a room, I know behind the scenes we were talking about, like, oh, you were saying, like, I don't know if he wants to be an artist or things like that. And I'm like, I always try to turn everybody into an artist. Mm-hmm. How do you scout, like, an artist? Like you say, like, you have it. It's something about you that's different from the rest of them.
Well, for me personally, I'm zigzag straight to the person. I let it be known that, hey, you're dope, you have this, that, and the third going on. What exactly is you need? Like, so I have to gauge you first, like, because my drive is not going to be more than your drive. Your drive should be more than my drive, so it can help me help you better.
Gotcha.
You know? So I shouldn't have to be the one, like, blowing your phone up, like, all day, every day, just to make sure you're at a performance or at an interview or something like that. If anything, it should be 50-50, but I really look at the ones that are willing to work. The ones that want stuff handed to them or they feel like they're entitled, I don't want you at all because I have one child and he's not that needy. He ain't needy at all. So I'm like, if y'all can't be as dope as him, then I don't know what to tell y'all.
I agree. So can you tell me about a time, have you ever, you might have, you might haven't, have you ever been in a situation where as a manager, it was just like, shit was just going bad? Like just say for an example, at a show, you like, I don't know how we're going to make it through this.
Prayer.
But have it ever been a time?
Yes, there has been situations like that. So what I usually do, I like for my artists or whatever, now I have to be the customer service representative. Like, just give me 2 minutes. You stay right there. Don't move nowhere. Don't take no calls. Just sit here for 2 minutes. Let me go freak out in the bathroom real quick.
Yes.
And then come back with a plan of action like nothing never happened. And everybody be like, oh, you're so calm, cool, and collected. I'm like, you don't understand what's going on behind these eyes and these smile. But, it's anything. So, like, especially when you have situations or events that could turn into a bad situation, it's a test. So I think of everything as a test. And how you respond to it is going to be the determiner of what your result is going to be.
I agree.
And that's for every single thing. So even when things are going bad, take that as a challenge. I like those type of challenges. That means that's something that I need to overcome for the next time because it only, like, every level you get to, new devils, basically, or however they say it.
I'm going to snap because she made that sound really good. I freaks out. I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, like,
I freak out a lot.
I had my moment. Talk to God, like, you would not, like, whoever you believe in, never put you in a situation that you can't handle.
I agree.
Just step outside of yourself and your emotion and just deal with it robotically, I guess. If that makes sense. Yeah.
So, all right, so we talked about how you got into management. We talked about how you scout some talent. Now, I'm a big fan of I feel like using this platform. When we first started to talk about the show, I actually told Music Night, shout out to Skeet and Jay, I said, we got to drop jewels to these young legends coming up, especially those in the music industry, because they know the glitz and the glam, but
it's smoke and mirrors.
Exactly. It's about 20% of the entertainment, 80% of business. So what is some business advice you can give to a young artist coming up? Or even a young manager?
Anybody in business, honestly, when you get your checks,
yes,
you literally only have 20% of that check for yourself. 40% of that check goes towards your savings or whatever expenses that you're going to have related to your business or your talent or whatever the case may be. 20% of that is going into savings, and the other 20% of that is basically your transportation covering your costs, because it's like it's hustling backwards for you to get paid off your events and stuff like that, and then you blow it.
Exactly.
And then you're trying to hurry up and play catch up to get it back. No, you save it. It's like I don't know if y'all know this, 401ks, IRA, stuff like that. That's how you treat it. You take part of your paycheck, 8%, whatever. But yeah, save your bag. You don't need to spend it. What do you want to spend it on?
I think that's a great way to actually look at things. A lot of artists, they'll probably get there first, like, just say, because I feel like once you get paid for something, it's no longer a hobby.
Right.
So that's my thing. It's not a hobby. Once you start getting paid for something, this is no longer a hobby. This is a job.
Exactly.
So once you got that job, I agree with you. Treat it like a paycheck. Take something out. But
at some point, you got to pay taxes. So that's how you're...
You do. That's what I'm trying to get to.
That's how people get caught up. Like, that's
what I was trying to get to. A lot of artists don't realize that once you else everything, you need to definitely take... I believe in, like, just treating it, the government takes about a percentage out of your check depending on how much you make anyway. So if you treat the money that you get like your paycheck and you take that percentage out at the end of the year, you're not playing that catch up like you said, because the money was already put aside.
Right. And I need, like, young entertainers to understand that you're basically an independent contractor. Yes. You're going to get 1099 at the end of the year. So pay your taxes on it, because for us as the company, the overhead, we're good. Like, all we got to do is cut you your check, and our liability is gone from there. So now it falls on you. But if you're really in the craft, if you're really in entertainment and stuff like that, don't do it for the glory and satisfaction of other people. Do it because that's something that you love to do, not to prove nothing to nobody, not to show nobody up, because you'll always fail doing that. If this is something that you really love to do, then focus on being a better artist or a better talent than you were yesterday, and move accordingly.
So. I definitely agree with you. You got something you want to add to that?
Yes.
I like that, man. You gotta just, be in competition with yourself. Be better than the you that it was out there yesterday. You know what I'm saying? You can't be, just competing with everybody and watching what they doing and what they got going on, because it's going to take away from, your pot and your bag. And
this is the wild part about it, like individuality has always been rare in music. But, everybody sounds like NBA Youngboy, Kodak Black, or whatever the case may be. But if you have something individual to you and it's fire under your ass with that, whatever, run with it, because it might not pick up today, it might not pick up tomorrow, but as long as you stay consistent and your resume and your work speaks for itself, it's going to pick up. And you always want to be known to be an individual, because again, there's only one NBA, there's only one Kodak, there's only one of each of these people. So it's pointless to kind of recreate their style unless you're going to like reinvent it to be something better.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree on that. And I feel like when a lot of labels, they're so scared to spend money. So what happens is they follow the trend. What they think, they say, oh wait, this artist is already selling. Let's make this artist like this artist because we already know this artist is selling. They're afraid to step on and say, we don't have nothing out here like this, and let's try to invest in this.
That's a hot topic. Yes. All right, so Chloe Bailey.
Okay.
Or is it Haley? Which
is
one
she,
did the VMAs?
She's Chloe. It's Chloe though, right?
It's Chloe, but it's Haley.
Chloe.
It's Haley. The one that plays on like Brownish, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So everybody says, all right, did you see the VMAs?
She's the new Beyonce. They're kind of compared to Beyonce.
Exactly. So it's like, that's great that you have that influence and stuff like that, but so fresh out the gate, you don't want to be known as somebody else, because then you lose your individuality. Yeah. And now you're working twice as hard to get back to your original roots and who you were when you were first introduced to the world. Yeah. So that's the same for every artist, same for everybody individual, whether you're entertainment or not.
But I think the industry does this job of her for sure, you can see like the resemblance. Mm-hmm. However, the industry does a good job at like when someone comes out new, because the Beyonce was the new Diana Ross. True. You know what I'm saying?
True. Like, but not quite like Diana.
Not because Diana was like I love Beyonce, but Beyonce definitely has her. She has her twists and turns.
She has that Southern belle. Yeah. I forgot what they call like the.
But she definitely steps out of her zone of like Diana was definitely ballroom gown, But people will compare Beyonce to Diana or Tina Turner. She got either or,
like the shimmers and stuff like that.
Yeah, she got the either or. However, it's always going to be happen. It's always going to happen. I'm losing her name. Ariana Grande was compared to Mariah Carey.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's so different. So we also know that like the industry does this job of always comparing. Everyone was saying that. Their voices are really and on that, but although Mariah Carey is a black and white woman, many people saw her as a white woman because of how she appears.
And also because she was married to the Motorola guy.
Yeah. So she's always looked up as a black and white woman. And Alicia Keys is also black and white, but Alicia Keys looks like a black woman. If you see Alicia Keys, you'll say she's a black woman because she's just light skinned. But both are mixed with black and white. Not that kind of conversation. I wasn't trying to get into that conversation.
Right.
But I was saying that the industry does a job of comparing all artists to each other, no matter what the artist sounds like, looks like. It's
and they put that competition up there because again, you always want to top your charts.
Exactly.
Right. But and yeah, they come out with the clone factories, but you never heard of any like 3 artists in a row sounding alike all being on the Billboard. It doesn't happen.
Right.
So that's.
But think about it. Back in the day, it was Brandy, Aaliyah, Monica,
and all their sounds were different.
They all sounds were different. All sung about different things, but to the
Brandy
world,
and Monica was more similar than Aaliyah. Because Aaliyah had that whole tomboy.
But Aaliyah was more mature. Aaliyah was singing about way more mature music. Wait, when you think about Monica, was singing about mature music too.
Yeah. She was mature.
Brandy was the only one that was more.
Yeah.
As an artist, like you just gotta be like consistent. Like you gotta brand yourself. Like social media and everything gotta be like the same name. Like,
and if you have a good team, your team will actually look at trends from the past 5 years. the current year and what could be projected for the next 2 years after that and everything, and find the holes in those trends basically to figure out where you fit in and how you can better market for that basically.
I think I always tell artists, you only as good as your team.
True.
If your team, like, I don't care how talented you are, we can look at a Tierra Marie and a Rihanna. Both came out around the same time.
Under the same label,
under the same label. Tierra Marie, I love Rihanna, but Tierra Marie can sing Rihanna under a rope.
Yes,
she can.
But
her team was not stronger than Rihanna.
There's some people not talented at all, and they just got a really good team.
I'm not even going to go into the rumor mill about that one, but yes, you're absolutely right.
I definitely agree on that. Listen, shout out to everyone on Instagram Live because you're here. You get the behind the scene footage of us. We were just listening to Young Blue. What's that song called again?
Mine Still, I think.
Mine Still? Yeah, that's that confusing song. That's what I call it, the confusing song, because he doesn't know what he really wants.
That's like the kid in the candy store. Like, you only want that candy because you seen somebody else. But other than that, you wasn't thinking about them bag of chips or that candy.
Exactly. But shout out to Young Blue because all these men out here do that. He just was man enough to make a song about it.
Women do it too. Think about it. Like, when you're not in a relationship, nobody wants you. But as soon as you get with somebody, now everybody popping out the big woodwork like, hey, big head. No, where was you at when I was lonely on a Tuesday?
When I was on there fishing on live. Like,
wait. You said fishing? Anna, do you be fishing on a gram? Do I have to send some of my girls your way? Because they be fishing too.
Listen, no, I don't know what happened, but recently Instagram has turned into this whole dating thing. Like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
Yes.
I'm good. Like, unless you're talking business, but is you hitting me up for it, sir?
Now, you know, Amber, I'm not going to even front because some people slid in my DMs. I go look at their profile. Let me see what he look like. Let me see what he got going on.
I'm the one that checked, like, is this a catfish first? Like, these pictures pixelated? Can I, like, Google search this face?
Oh, Amber, you single?
So are these pictures?
I'm the single one. Amber shreds slowly.
Well, I'm not looking like, money is my meat. Like,
I love
before
that.
I sit up here and go out and date and play in somebody's sun face, no, I'm getting me like a couple of gigs, maybe 2-3 jobs, yelling at my artists. Them telling me maybe you need to go on a date. No, bitch, we got this date at this venue for this show.
Listen, I'm here for it. But I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm a little single. Been single for a little.
You ain't missing nothing.
I know, I'm having fun. I'm going to be very honest. Excuse me? Oh, I thought N.I was saying something. I thought somebody that was single too was saying something. Oh, okay. Listen. Shout out to all our single girls. Our single girls, we need to get some good men. Okay, a man that understands what we got going on. But enough of that. We were having a great discussion behind the scenes about what would you do if a woman proposed to you? What, like, as a man? So, N.I, are you ready? I need you.
N.I, what would you do if a woman proposed to you?
It depends on which one it is.
Wait a minute. This man ain't tell me he has more than one.
Oh, wait, we didn't discuss, but I'm listening.
You have more than one?
Who said that?
See, this is what I'm talking about.
You know who it is.
You know, and I've been being cute today because he got this little cute little bucket hat on. You see that? He got the cute bucket hat on. He came here with the Ooze and Noodle t-shirt on. He's being very cute. Usually my ass and how this it would be different. And if a woman proposed to you in front of all of us, what would you say?
I wouldn't say no. You know what I'm saying, to say the embarrassment, I'll, say something funny to try to, like, smooth it out, like, not right now.
No, just hug her up real quick.
Wait a minute, not right now is no. Right, not right now is a no.
But can you say yes, and then, like, you know what I'm saying, when you get home, like, you know what I'm saying, like,
we were just talking about that, like, it depends on the situation, like, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna hug you and give you a kiss to save you the embarrassment and take the ring. But when we get home, like, baby, I think you need to take this back because unless you want me to keep it, I love you forever, but we're not. No.
Well, how about this? This is another option, you guys. How about saying, okay, depending on how big the ring is, how about saying yes and just staying engaged forever? Who says once you actually put the ring on your finger?
So basically be Chrissy.
Yeah, pretty much. Think about it. No, what I'm saying is...
That's like settling because then that means you're blocking yourself for someone that
No, but what I'm saying is if a woman proposed to a man, yeah, that is. I mean, I get it, but for me to propose to a woman, if y'all already dating and you wasn't going to leave him anyway, why not just let him put the ring on? All right, we'll figure this stuff out. Like,
I just feel like I don't know. I take it as one of those things where you're blocking your blessing. You're blocking your blessing by being with someone you don't really want to be with.
But if you're already with them And like I feel like this, don't be with someone that you don't like. If you don't like, don't waste their time.
So then it gets to the question of why are you even together in the first place?
That's what I'm saying. So if you're already with this,
that's where the ride or die come in at.
Oh no,
the ride or die.
You know what I'm saying? That's like the opposite of till death do us part. That's the unmarried version of till death do us part.
Now listen, here go.
Marriages, because after 7 years you technically
are married. You are in the state of Pennsylvania. But here we go. I'm gonna throw some salt in it. If he had 2 babies on you. Listen, if he had 2 babies on you and you proposed to him, and what you saying? You had 2 babies on her. She proposed to you. What you want to say? She's a ride or die.
She got a good job.
You might
be on her life insurance.
Is I'm a beneficiary? Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
You can be a beneficiary and don't even have to be married.
Oh my God. I love it. Listen, y'all are giving me too many ideas tonight. But Amber, okay, so we have to get back into talking about music management.
Yes,
y'all give me too many ideas. Shout out to y'all for telling me you don't gotta be married to be somebody's beneficiary. But
as long as I know your name, your date of birth, it's good.
You just giving me too many juice. Let me write this down.
I don't know if you when I meet somebody, I don't know if you a serial killer, so I need a copy of your ID right now. I don't even need your social. I just need that license number.
Oh my God! I wonder, do they give it to you? Like, here I go. Do they?
Yes, they do.
I love this.
I'm serious, like, cause I need my folks to be sure to know who to look for.
You're my type of girl.
And the license plate.
Too much be going on. Oh, but all right, before we get back to the management,
okay,
she's not a ride or die. She needs help, and I have a 50% coupon off on a good therapist for you.
That's what I was saying.
The first one, listen, you have a baby on me. The first time, I don't take you seriously no more. Now you just been demoted to side joint or common joint or whenever I see you. But you have 2 on me, you will never see these yams again, ever.
I love it.
Yeah, you better take a picture because that's all you're going to get.
I definitely agree. So, all right. Do you have any partners that you currently work with, or is it just you? You do all this by yourself?
I do everything on my own. I mean,
wow.
I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to get assistants and stuff like that. I have this one new assistant by the name of Jose, who's actually a college level math professor. So that's really freaking dope. I work with a few conglomerates out in LA and Las Vegas. So at the end of this month, I'll be right back on the trip in Las Vegas and LA doing our Smashbox Life events. We just had one earlier in September now. So we did it August 13th. Smashbox Life Philly. So now we're going back out to LA to plan and coordinate for the one in LA. But yeah, so my thing has always been like, and then this is Philadelphia. So it's easier for me to work. It's easier to work outside the city and then bring everything back into it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because Philly is a hard market. What do you say about that? Being a music manager inside of Philadelphia, which is a hard city to actually break an artist.
Philly is very cliquish. All the circles are very small. You know me, then there's probably like 3-4 other people that know me through you or vice versa. Yeah. And then everybody feels so entitled. Very entitled. They just feel like they just need to. They want all the flowers without the work, and things do not happen that way at all. And it's easier. Like you get more respect when you go outside your town and then bring that traffic back to your town. Now can't nobody tell you nothing. Now they want to like dick ride or dick eat or whatever the case may be. But just know who you're dealing with. You should be fine. And always just like keep that customer. Like I worked in customer service for years, so I'm like, yes.
So you just bring that person out like yes,
and then like, but you can always gauge, especially if you're like a feeling type of person. You can always gauge the ones that's genuine and legit or not. And then I'm also analytical. Now I'm about to go back and research your whole resume.
I agree. Listen. I understand. Been working in this city for quite some time. I definitely agree with you.
But I think like even though this is like a male-dominated market. Yeah. We as females have like advantages of basically being female, like, power brokers in the city, like because we bring a certain je ne sais quoi or finesse about it that, men can't actually do with each other. Sometimes they actually want to be soft and be like, yeah, I'll drink some Merlot with you, girl. Give you some compliments, but no, let's get to the business. And they respect you more, especially when you're a female in this business, if you stick to your guns.
I agree.
Don't compromise. Don't compromise. You're not gonna. No.
I would actually say females, we are really doing a damn thing right now.
We are going hard. And I'm I'm proud of us.
Yes. And then there's women of color.
Yes.
There's a lot of women of color. Like a lot of labels just promote a lot of women to be like the head of like presidents and everything. So shout out to all of them.
Because like I don't know what's been going on within like the past 5-10 years or whatever, but it seems like the polarity switched.
It did.
It seems like more so now that females are more masculine than the males are, and the males are more feeling like than the females are. Like even when we PMS, we still just be on some, no, let's get this shit done. Yeah. The males on out here, but my feelings, nigga, fuck your feelings. Excuse my French. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Like,
I feel like now females are
action, dude.
I feel like now females are coming out of the limelight of being behind the scenes of a man because
the patriarchy is slowly fading away. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So tell us about some other things you have coming up.
Okay, so it's just been a crazy few weeks. So we just wrapped up New York Fashion Week this past weekend.
Oh, nice.
Indie Fashion, where we had Lisa Ray and also Diddy's son, I think it was Sean Combs, that graced the runway for Stephen Edwards. We had our 3 models there. So from that, we actually we have magazine launches with True Vibes magazine for September. For October, we have another New York fashion show where we're featuring the models at. And then we're doing another magazine release in October with AV3. Shout out to Ariel. Shout out to Figgy. Shout out to Kawhi. So those are those things right now. I'll have more for you guys like next week. But
we here
outside
for this.
of that, we're doing a Fortune Entertainment group rebranding launch party January 2022. So I'm basically just combining my birthday together with the business launch because, you know.
That's a dope idea.
If a bitch wasn't born,
this would not be happening.
So,
this wouldn't be happening.
So that's what we're doing. And so basically what we're basically doing is we're just running with our tight group of 6 right now. And then we're adding on once the new year comes. But lots more events, lots more shows. Can't discuss everything right now. And getting a whole bunch of more NDAs, non-competes, and contracts signed.
I love
all them coins, past, present, and future.
I love it. So you mentioned earlier in the show that you have it that you was like, as long as my artist I got a child who's not what word did you use?
Childish.
I don't think it was that word. No, well, whatever.
No, needy. It was needy.
So can you talk about balancing motherhood and being a manager?
Well, this one right here, like shout out to my son.
My son is in the building. I didn't want to say that, like, but he's in the building.
Cam dog, like doing my no.
He does. He's like, no, mom, absolutely not.
He was like, thank God she ain't got a phone right now. He probably would have flipped it on me. But he's like, since I've been in the industries for like the past, how old are you now? 15. So 16 years basically, okay. Right? And so since being in the industry, he's always been right by my hip. Basically, I need him to learn everything and watch everything that I do, so he can continue to run the ship later on because it's a legacy thing.
I love it.
So when I say that, like I see how he's raised in his disposition. I raised him to be independent and self-sufficient and use your critical thinking skills before you ask me a question. Like, well, you know, how you deal with students and you know, like, you know, really think about this. Did A plus B equal E or did it equal C?
Yeah.
Like, let me know. So that's basically how I compose things, but also because like if you don't know me, the type of person, like people would think like, oh, like she's just whatever. No, I try to really sit down and like just like, you know, layman terms everything. So once everything is like basically layman terms and you still needy or can't figure out that 1 + 1 = 2, then baby, I don't know what to tell you. And now I gotta refer you over to my assistant.
Wow, Amber!
I'm serious.
That's
cool. It's not because like I don't know who's watching right now, so like I don't know.
But you know what? Listen, I'm gonna back you up on this because I always say I don't have a lot of patience for adults. I have patience for children.
I have a lot of patience. I just have no tolerance. None whatsoever. So like we can like, you know, be in a studio for 8, 9, 10 hours, like, and I'll be patient with you as long as I see that there's progress being made or that you're actually trying. But when it's just like, haha, jokes on you and you think this is a party, I have no tolerance for it because like I feel like you need to maximize your time and maximize your network and your connections while you're doing it.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Listen, I'm up in here. I'm all lost. I'm up here and listen. I'm like, yes. And yes. Give me more. This is what you call like girl power. Like,
yeah,
this is definitely
and we
girl
need
power.
this more. It's like, I just feel like, especially with the city of Philadelphia, we need to actually get back to brotherly and sisterly love.
I agree.
And if we can come together as a community, I don't know who I was talking about this other day, but you know how other groups of people come together and, you know, they're like that. Well, we, like, especially as minorities or whatever.
I like how you put it.
You're welcome. But thank you. Oh, shit, my bad. Oh, sorry for the cursing, y'all. But we as minorities, we need to actually learn how to come back together. It's not a competition.
Exactly.
We're past the Mason-Dixon line. Like, we can work together. We don't have to feel like we need to step on each other's toes to make our self-esteem or boost our confidence, because that's very short-lived. When they say one hand washes the other, and I'm a really big believer of that. But with being a big believer of that, too, you also have to watch out for the ones that be like, yeah, she's a big believer of that, so let me see what I can milk from the situation. I had to learn how to cut that off because I burnt myself out. Yes. And that's why I took a 5-year hiatus. Like, what's not working for me? Because if it was working, then it would have popped, but it, so.
Well, that must mean that you're definitely meant to be in the position that you're in. If you can take a break.
I prayed to get out of it, honestly.
No, but what I'm saying to you is, if you're a person that if you left and it's something that brought you back, that means you have a purpose to be back.
Right.
So no matter who's around you, no matter what people try to take from you, you have a purpose to maybe change anyone's life, from an artist to a model. That's your purpose. That was your gift that God gave you.
You be a blessing to be a blessing into others. Yes. And then, it's one of those things, like, you can't do anything unless you put God first.
Exactly.
So I prayed to God about it. Oh, okay, well, you got me back here for a reason. But now it's working in a different way or a higher level way. So I'm going to run with this, but every day and every night, just, guide my path.
And but even if your journey allow someone else to watch you and they learn from your journey, that was a purpose and that was a reason that you were sent here to do what you're doing.
Oh, that just gave me chills.
Listen.
I believe control just dried again. Oh my God!
I'm telling you because I believe, because listening to you, we have similar stories. I left music because I lost my mother, and I said I would never do music again. But somehow, some way, the one thing that I vowed to never do again was the one thing that saved my life. So what I'm saying to you is that you have a purpose to be here, and it's a reason, whether it's to change your artists' lives, whether it's to someone who don't even know life.
That's so funny you say that. You remember when you walked in the room and everything?
I think I did.
Yeah, well, I was like, my bad. But my artist basically said that. He was like, you don't even understand how much you blessed me and my team just by doing 3 or 4 things that you did. And I was like, oh, wow, it's nothing, because, if I eat B, we all eat. And that's, right. You know what I'm saying? But you never realize what type of impact you make on other people. And when you do this, you don't do it for like the recognition or glory. You do it not expecting anything back. And when you do things not expecting anything back, that's when you get your blessings back tenfold.
I agree. Listen, I just want to say, Amber, she got some chills on me. She got some chills. Yeah. She put some chills up in here. So, again, I want to thank you for coming down. First of all, let me just thank you and give you your flowers now. Although we just met, just from listening to you speak, you definitely know what you're talking about. You know what you got going on.
I'm blushing. You got me blushing.
I'm always going to support you. I feel like I just met a new friend.
Yes.
So, definitely. Hit me up. Of course, we're going to connect. We definitely got to connect.
Definitely.
Because 2 minds is better than one.
Exactly. Now just have a female music manager, reality. Show.
Yes. Talk about it. Talk something into existence.
Let's have a reality TV show.
I love TV shows.
Fortune Entertainment Group has a show called Chasing Fortune. We're in production with right now. We take entrepreneurs, people in the entertainment business or whatever sector you're in, and then kind of like basically follow you in regards to how you chase your success or your fortune and deal with roadblocks and obstacles and detours in the same token. Yeah.
Listen, we definitely gotta get into some things. We gotta finish the chatting after we get off. So again, thank you to everyone that joined us. And what you got coming up tonight? We know you're gonna club winners. We know you're gonna turn up. We know you're gonna have the ladies there. You're gonna have the bottles popping. I'm just gonna promo for them. You're gonna have the bottles popping. Ladies in his DJ booth. We already know club winners tonight. Is it Twisted Tuesday?
Twisted Tuesday. 3550 North 9th Street. We in Shalitlit. You don't want
3500 block of North 9th Street. You can't forget that.
So we're going to take Amber again. Thank you for coming down, sit down with us. Please come back again.
Yes.
I'm begging you because we're going to have more chit chat. Thank you again. And shout out to everyone who tuned in from start to finish. Or shout out to everyone who just tuned in today watching us live or tuned in to the Young Legend Show. We always have legendary shows on Tuesday. Shout out to Skeet making sure everything is running right behind the scene. Shout out to Lola for definitely making sure she booked the best talent in the city.
Yes.
Guess what? If you want to get up here, you got to get with Lola. You were just giving me
I said for sure.
For sure. And shout out to Toya because I was excited to be here today. So shout out to the whole team. It takes a team effort to put this whole thing together.
It takes a village.
Listen, that's all we got. So N.I, take us out. Make sure y'all come back next week, same time, same place. Tell a friend to join and listen to the Young Legend Show. We out here.
Previously on Ready to Die.